Welcome to an all-new episode of The 60-Second Car. This is Minute 35. My name is Dan. I'm joined as always by my good friend and co-host, Mr. Daniel.
It's diesel time.
It's diesel time.
60-second car.
And welcome back to a brand new episode of welcome back to the podcast that is the 60-second car. It's a brand new episode. I already said that. That is minute 35, the podcast that covers every single minute of the Fast and the Furious franchise. We're still on the original, the Fast and the Furious. Well, not the original. You know what I mean. We're on minute 35, Daniel. How are you?
Yes.
How is everything?
I'm doing all right. I'm winding down from a hell of a party and
Yep. The hangover's kicking in.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Yeah, we're gonna have to.
It was a hell of a party. I came in. The guy came in like late to his own party. He seemed mad at everybody, but it didn't affect me. I was in the back. I think my girl made out with this one guy. He made out with everybody. I can't be mad because he made out with everybody. But how are you?
Wait,
are you?
Who are you in this scenario?
I'm like a fifth, or like five people deep extra.
I was gonna say
I'm like somebody dancing when there's no music, or who's like actually grooving to Vince's guitar playing.
Oh my god, I forget which TV show it did, but some TV show did a bit. Oh, it was I think I mentioned this before, the rehearsal with Nathan Fielder, where he hires a bunch of extras just to be at an event, and under the extras contracts, they are not allowed to say or make a single sound. So I can only imagine what any party is like in film when filming it. I've done a couple of shorts. I've done my share of films. We've never done a party. So I feel like it would be like delivering lines and actually like doing my lines would be both interesting yet awkward at the same time, because it's like people are all sitting around watching you and just have all eyes on you, but also they're all doing their own silent thing. It just feels like it would be really weird.
I wonder if when they shoot party scenes, because I always focus on people dancing and how it like lines up with the music. Somebody eventually had to be like, let's play a song for like 10 seconds to get a rhythm and just keep it going, guys. Come on. And we're going to cut the music, hit record. You guys keep going. But
there are so many movies where you sit there and you're like, these guys have never heard what soundtrack is going to be played, because I don't know what they're dancing to. There was, I think, a Friends episode or two where Ross and Monica are like background dancers for like a New Year's Eve party or something. And we know that they didn't do that right, because they actually do play the music through there, and they go dancing and they have to like they compete to be the featured dancers up on like the go-go stage or whatever.
Oh yeah, I do remember this episode.
Yeah, it's a weird episode, especially because like Ross and Monica do some like not brother sister stuff seeming.
That's right.
It's kind of weird. I don't even think they address it either. Maybe they do. I don't know. But we're kind of coming down from this party. We're okay. Brian is about to start like relaxing ish until he gets lost in somebody's eyes. But as Mia sort of rescues Brian here, she takes him to what we established maybe is the dining room of this house, with like a hutch and like, or a dresser or whatever, with some more candles and gauges. And Brian's here getting Mia a drink, as I don't remember what she asks here. She asks him a question. Okay.
Well, there's a weird ADR. I maybe have a different thing, but as far as the drink goes, he's like, she says anything as long as it's cold.
Yeah.
Is her request for a drink.
Right.
And if there's a line before that, I'm sorry, I don't have it.
I don't know. I don't remember. But he does get her a Snapple, so when I first saw this in 2001, to me, I was like, oh, that's just a classy move to get a non-alcoholic beverage. Just be like, oh, I'm not asking you to drink or anything. It's just a classy move to get a Snapple or whatever it might be. Especially because she doesn't seem to be the partying one. She's just came down. I think she came down the stairs to get him. I don't actually remember where she came from. But yeah, he just gets her Snapple and is like, okay, that's classy. But as we've learned, and as we've kind of done our own math here, she may not be 21.
Right. Like, I think this is Brian's cop showing where he's looking at a fridge, sees a thing full of beer, and he's like, I can't give her a beer. Here is a Snapple. Enjoy it. This is a cold thing I found. You're welcome.
Right.
There's a fun fact underneath the bottle cap. What's your fact say?
Oh my god. Yeah, my mom used to drink so much Snapple, and yeah, I would read all the lids. Something about a Stetson, or there's one about a 10-gallon hat. I think once a 10-gallon hat is not actually 10 gallons.
I would say how much liquid can hold. That sounds like it'd be a snapback.
Yeah, exactly. But in this, so okay, to your point here, if he realizes this, he's still kind of into her. Is that weird?
I mean,
she's probably of legal age, but still.
Yeah. Yeah, it gets muddy.
It does.
If you overthink it, like you have to overthink it when you're doing these a minute at a time, it definitely gets muddy. He's probably early mid 20s. She's maybe 18, I guess.
Yeah, I think
that's weird.
It is a bit weird, right? If he's like 22, 23, it's not that weird, but it's still kind of weird.
Yeah.
It's still, yeah. Anyway, he gets her the Snapple, which is an iced tea Snapple, which is one of the good ones. I think it's peach iced tea. That's one of the good ones. It's one I approve of this. I think in 2001, I don't remember how many Snapple flavors there actually were. It probably weren't that many.
The only flavor I remember having a lot was like kiwi lime.
Yeah. Or kiwi strawberry or something like that. Yeah,
that's it. A very pink one.
Yes.
Very fruit-forward pink one.
That was also a good one. I did like that one. I don't think they make them in glass bottles anymore. I think they're in plastics only.
I think that's right. I only see them in the grocery outlet near here, and I'm pretty sure they're all plastic.
Yeah, they have them at the 7-Elevens and stuff like that, but yeah, interesting. And he's coming on strong, which I guess like they've already established that. Well, I guess they've established a couple things. One, he's into her, but two, with the scene where she's in her room and sees him coming in, she's into him too. Because she wouldn't freak out like that if it was the other way around, right?
No, absolutely not. But like this, when they're finally breaking down the like, oh, your brother's not here, the other guys aren't here. This is the first time they're alone. It's got to be, right? Because he just talks to her in the restaurant.
Does he know or care that Dom's back there?
Oh, maybe. Well, if he's doing recon to like spy on Dom, probably not. But like, well, actually, that's probably the point, that Dom should be there. Right. So this is the first time he's off the clock talking to her. Right. Theoretically.
Right. Yeah. I mean, yeah. It is all weird. So yeah, I guess this would be if the case is that he doesn't even know he's back there or care he's back there, then it's not the first time. But I think we can all agree that we can consider this the first time that they're alone, for sure.
There's a part in the scene that just occurred to me that it winds up being a plot iffiness, classic term.
Sure.
So in this conversation, they're talking about Dom, and she says that Dom likes him, and
oh, my brother likes you. Yeah.
Right. So she doesn't, unless there's, conversations they've cut out for the sake of the film and we're filling in gaps. She doesn't know that of all the shit they just went through with like the car being shot up and him rescuing himself. Because Dom rolls in, yells about the buster coming for him, and she doesn't know the context of that. And now because of that, she's like, oh, my brother likes you. She doesn't have all the pieces of the story. How does she jump to that?
But she is his sister, so like maybe she just knows. Or I think that what they tried to establish with this is that like you wouldn't have been invited to the house if he didn't like you. Maybe.
But she doesn't know that he got to the house the way he did, necessarily.
Well, she saw them both get out of the taxi together.
Yeah, but okay, I guess that's enough for her to be like, "Oh, my brother likes you," not, "Oh, you saved my brother's ass."
Oh, actually, she watched the whole conversation where he was going to walk away too, and Dom was like, "Hey, you want a beer?" So
She's just at the window, just looking down.
she was, because she didn't actually react until he said, "Oh, okay." So like I think what you're talking about definitely has merit. I just don't.
Thank you.
Just to try to validate you, definitely has merit. But I think what they're trying to do is like, the sister knows her
Sure.
brother, stuff like that. They're close enough to where that's going to be a thing. But at the same time, it's like, what is happening here? Are they that close to be like just straight up into each other at this point? And then, does he actually like him, or is this a one-time deal?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Could be anything. Obviously, he's the main character. They're both the main character. Who is the main character of this movie?
I mean, the way they tried to paint it, probably Brian, but it winds up being Dom, of course.
Right.
If you're just going by billing, then it'd be Paul Walker.
Is he first billed? Okay.
Mm-hmm. Plus, he's in the next one.
He do be in the next one. And then neither one of them are in the third one until the end. So I don't know. Which is actually I know we've talked about the weird thing about Vin Diesel not saying yes to sequels until getting ready for 4. But what happened to Paul Walker for the third one?
That's a great question.
What were the conversations that happened there?
I have literally only talked about how Dom isn't in 2 and 3. I've never bothered to talk about why Paul Walker is not in 3.
Not even like mentioned, not even talked about at all. Just and then we have the end where Dom shows up, and I'm like, yeah, I thought Paul Walker was the star of this franchise. I'm so confused.
That's when Vin Diesel takes the reins. But I mean, also, real talk, I don't care about Brian O'Connor like at all.
Yeah, we care. I think that is kind of one of those like sort of nostalgia / it sucks that we lost him sort of feelings coming through with a lot of fans. Is like, we lost him, so all of a sudden we care a ton about Brian O'Connor. When it's like, when he was still alive, what did we think about the character? I don't think he was the star in many people's eyes.
I wonder if he was just like a necessary, like, everyman for all the characters around him, because he's not like funny. He has like occasional quips, but he's not the comic relief. He's not really like the tech guy. He's an adequate driver who shows up and does the mission, but I don't know.
He's definitely outshined by Tyrese and Ludacris as far as comedy goes. He's not the like total, beefhead badass that Dom is, but I mean, he's kind of he can get anything done, right? And I mean, there's a lot of like cutaways of him doing his own thing, especially when he like has to go, I think it's 6, where he goes back to prison and then fights his way out of it.
Yeah.
Like they kind of they do try to shine the light on him.
But like
that could have been anybody, right?
Right. In the ensemble, he doesn't really like have a definitive role. He's just kind of
the
there.
Sidekick.
Yeah. But to like 7 people.
Yeah, it's definitely, but like he's numbered. Honestly, he's kind of the Vince from this movie.
Yeah.
He kind of becomes that, because like in Fast 5, for instance, when when there's 2 cars dragging down the safe down the main streets of downtown. I don't know where they are actually. What city in Brazil are they in?
This is just Rio.
Yes, I guess it is Rio, huh? Yeah. So when they're driving down the main streets of the downtown Rio, like, when you think to yourself, who else could that be? Technically, on a technical, like, logical basis, it could be anybody.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's gotta be Brian, right?
Sure.
Right, sure. It doesn't have to be.
Actually, this brings us back to one of the lines that's coming up in this minute. He describes himself as simple. and she says you're a shitty liar.
Is it right here?
I believe so.
When he's making
Yeah.
this weird face.
Yeah, he says I'm simple. She says you're a shitty liar. He's not lying.
No, he's not.
In the greatest scheme or the greatest scope of this entire franchise, he's not lying.
He's not lying. And that's, I think, the thing, right? I think that is why Mia exists in a way. Because he's technically always honest with her, right? Because she never asks if he's a cop. She never like asks any of these things. He is always 100% honest with her. Because back to the line, I am simple. Yeah, I think we kind of realize that as we're talking about this throughout this podcast. He just wants to be a racer. He doesn't really, he doesn't want to be a cop. That would make him complicated if he wanted to be a cop.
Yeah, exactly.
but he doesn't.
If he had any conflict between, like, his conflict is just like realizing he's got to turn in Dom, but he knows in his heart he's not gonna at this point because he wants to be a racer. That
is actually a good point. At this point, he's already kind of decided he's not going through to finish this mission.
Right.
I think he's. I mean, I would say that even after that, at that first race, when he's all adrenaline pumped and stuff like that, that's probably where he makes that decision. Maybe not consciously at that point, but yeah, he's definitely made the decision that's like, it doesn't really matter what happens. I'll face my consequences, but I'm not going to finish this mission.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we have a big transition here. We're not going to get the reveal yet, but we have a pretty huge transition as we go.
Are you referring to the transition that he needs a shower to clean himself, according to Mia?
He does get that comment at him. That is true. That's flirting, if you ask me.
What? In this good Christian film?
Good Christian film that has guns, cigarettes, and beer, Corona, and Red Bull. Yes. I mean, I think they are. They're Christian. They got crosses and stuff and candles lit and whatnot. Yeah, sure. I believe that. Also the typical house that's been up for a long time, the painting hooks or the picture frame hooks with no picture frame on them. We have one in the background here. But no, the transition is we just go straight to the next day. And I think this is downtown. Yeah, we're in downtown LA, I think, at this point.
What's that street sign say? Valencia,
yeah. And next to the Commodore. The Commodore, I believe, it says apartments here. I think the Commodore might be a hotel now. Oops. Oh,
you mean Lionel Richie and his friends, Commodores?
Yeah, the Commodore. Yep. Lionel Richie made that place.
Wow. It does look like a brick house. Goodbye. Thank you. Thanks for listening to the podcast. You can follow us on 60 Second Car.
Oh my God. So I actually take it back. It's not downtown here. Let's see. Is this the right one though? This might not be the right one. I have a Commodore on North Cherokee and Franklin Avenue, which I don't think is this one. Because if I look up Valencia Street, Los Angeles, that is downtown. So there must be another Commodore. Yeah, so this is like West downtown. Right next to Skid Row, actually. So yeah, this all takes place in the same area, roughly. I think we're trying to track where they all go in this movie because it is usually a complaint of like major cities or LA specific movies where they kind of jump all over the place, as we mentioned many times before. But I would say that generally they're kind of okay in this. They sort of follow a logical pattern. But yeah, we're in the middle of downtown and we're driving down the street with our lovely big red truck, which I guess it doesn't really matter where he's going. You think this is the end of the day and he's coming home or he's going home? But then wait, he lives at the shop. I'm confused. Where's he going?
So Mia basically tells him she takes him home. So she takes him to the shop. And
she takes him home now? Like
yeah,
here?
she's like, you need a shower and a sleep, and then goes to take him home.
Yes.
So maybe he's getting her bagels or something the next morning. I don't know. Because I imagine he doesn't have a kitchenette in his shop
True.
bedroom.
You think she went inside with him, or she just dropped him off?
I don't know. Well, we never know.
Interesting. I know that. Okay, so she already knows where he lives. I know we know for a fact she knows where he lives later in the movie. But yeah, she's cool with it, I guess. I mean, car family. It's cool. You can live in the back of a car shop. Why not?
Maybe he's going to a job of some kind.
Yeah, maybe.
They have a mobile truck to deliver parts or something. So
yeah,
maybe he's just doing that. Okay.
Yeah.
We did it. We solved it.
Yeah, that's got to be what it is. I was wondering if I was hoping it was something different, but I guess this would be it. I don't know. He could be going to get a tuna fish sandwich. Who knows?
Yeah. Could be.
But he's driving down the street and he gets pulled over.
Mm-hmm.
And he reacts, by the way, as if he's like, oh, I'm getting pulled over. What am I doing now? I didn't do anything wrong. God dang it. And it's not a black and white. It's not a normal patrol car. But he very much acts like he doesn't expect it. And it's got to be for the audience, right?
Yeah, probably. Or he somehow forgotten he's a cop, too.
He might have at that point. Who knows? He's like, oh, yeah, I'm supposed to be doing something. Whoops.
I'll get my tuna fish sandwich. Oh, it's Gary. What's Gary doing here? Gary. Oh, damn it.
Yeah, so I guess we don't have to talk about who these guys are yet, but you should know these guys pretty well.
You would think.
We don't get the smirk in this minute, right? No, the smirk comes in the next minute.
I think
so. Yeah, it's like, so 30, because this is not the last screen. This is the last screen I have, but it's not the very last frame of the minute. 59. Okay. So at 35:00, they're opening the door. So we really don't see much. But yeah, I mean, he's getting pulled over. This is the first time that we ever see this. And at this moment, especially based on the fact that we talked about how that car was burnt to a crisp and probably reported to the cops, I guess it's somewhat reasonable to think that he's just getting caught up with something. Like he's actually getting brought into the police station for questioning.
Maybe he matches a profile or something. But yeah, this is the minute where everything changes.
Yes. Yeah, this is the minute where, which is
the
crazy.
Last minute of status quo.
35 minutes into the movie, and we don't know he's a cop.
Impressive, really.
That's all. That's like what? That's a third of the movie, right?
Yeah.
It's an hour 46. So it's about a quarter of the movie. Or it's I don't know what it is, but
the math is right there.
But still, that's a lot.
Yeah.
That's a pretty long time before we find out exactly who our main character is. But I mean, yeah, wow. This is just a setup for the next recording session is going to be revealing about, like, we're going to reveal a lot of stuff with Brian. I think there's a lot of conversations here
about ourselves.
I mean, that happens every day.
About America, about the aliens.
Oh yeah, the aliens that nobody seems to care about, which is hilarious.
Very weird. I saw a video of Tom DeLonge from Blink-182 in the middle of a song scream, "I was fucking right about the aliens," and everyone got a reaction. But I was like, "Oh yeah, I forgot both of those are a thing."
Yep,
good for them. And that's been like my biggest reaction.
Oh, I've already seen shirts printed that says Tom was right.
Cool.
We've gone off the deep end, man. Well, yeah, it's so, I mean, to round this out, we're kind of done with the fast for today. But
that's been the podcast. Thank you for listening. We're not going to get to 2 or 10, any of those.
2 or 10, none of anything.
Sorry, I cut you off.
No, I just started thinking about we're not even halfway through one yet.
Don't think about that for too long.
I was just saying like somebody broke it down. It's like, so they're doing hearings. The government is doing hearings about the government covering up something. What is going on?
Interesting.
So the government was hiding that they knew about aliens. So now the government is doing trials and hearings on the government on the fact that they were hiding something. So what are we supposed to believe? That's why nobody cares. That's why nobody gives a dang about what's happening. It's just I don't know, man. It's all a big cluster. But you know, thank you for listening to us ramble about. Thank you for listening to us ramble about the Fast and the Furious. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being a part of the family. I will tell you though that my live streams have at least one or two people every day just putting family in chat, and it's pretty good. It's pretty nice feeling knowing that we're touching some family hearts out there.
Cute.
And so keep watching, keep listening, keep commenting with family, keep liking, keep I was gonna say reporting the podcast, but don't do that. Keep sharing the podcast and mention it to your friends. Go to danotage.tv/60secondcar to find all the deets and links. And if you have any questions, put them in the comments. Like I said, with that, we'll see you all next time on 60 Second Car.
It's Diesel time, family.